Under ecology chapter, actually ecology is a unit. Under that unit, this is a chapter. So under ecology, as per CBSE and CHSE syllabus, this time only 2 chapters are there. Other 2 chapters deleted. What are those chapters deleted? Environmental issue, last chapter deleted, and another chapter, that is ecosystem, deleted. So this time question may not be asked from environmental issue such as ozone hole, global warming, waste management, all these things. These are the environmental issues. And from ecosystem, food chain, food web, they will not be asked. So this is the chapters Organisms and Environment. Under this chapter, these are the some important points for exam point of view. All these are the short notes which can be asked, and ecological adaptations I may take 1 class. Today my target is to complete up to this point. So, you know, ecology, logy means study, eco means environment. So, ecology nowadays popularly known as environmental biology. That giving us emphasis upon environment. So ecology term was coined by Ernst Haeckel. You know Haeckel's biogenetic law from evolution. So that Ernst Haeckel in 1869 first used the term ecology, and the 2 equivalent term for ecology is hexecology, otherwise called ecology, and environmental science or environmental biology is having a broad aspect of study. That's why recently we refer the term environmental biology to give some emphasis for the importance of the study. So now we want to know under ecology what we have to study. All of you know ecology includes the study of 4 levels of biological organization. In hierarchy of living organism, cell united to form tissue, organ system, organism, and organism level onward is the subject matter of ecology. So under ecology, we study 4 levels of biological organization, that is organism, population, then communities, then biomes. So under the subject ecology, we have to study all these levels of biological organization. So what is an individual or organism? Every individual is a distinct living entity having all life processes in its body. So I am a human, I am an individual, because all life process, living process taking in my body. And such type of distinct living entity in our environment is organism. So if similar type of organisms present in a unit area or locality, that is called population. Suppose here in this township humans are there, so that is human population. In a crop field, wheat plants there, wheat plant population, rice plant population. So what is population? Population means group of similar individuals in a particular area. So when different population present in the area, suppose here humans there, human population, coconut tree population, grass population, dog population, bird population. So different population living in an area called community, otherwise called biological community or biotic community. So biotic community and biomes. Above community we can add another, that is a landscape, where different ecosystem, boundary of different ecosystem is distinct. Suppose in a painting, artist painted one river. This is the flowing river. He painted some grassland in distinct horizon, blue sky, birds fly. So you can see distinct boundaries are there. This is a landscape, that is below the biome. So what is a biome? Biome is a large geographical area having distinct climatic condition. So example of biomes can be temperate deciduous forest, rain forest, ocean. That means these are the geographical area where climatic condition is distinct, specific. So tropical rainforest climatic condition is quite different from desert. So desert is a biome, tropical rainforest it is a biome, means large geographical area with distinct climatic condition. So these are the four steps, four levels of biological organization which will be studied under ecology. So what is ecology? It is the study of, it is a branch under biology which deals with the study of interrelationship between organisms, their interactions and their interactions with the environment. That's why I am giving emphasis environmental biology. So every organism surrounded by environment. So what is environment? Environment is the sum total of biotic component and abiotic component, and substances and conditions that surround and potentially influence the organism. So environment includes two things: biotic or living components, abiotic and non-living components. Abiotic and non-living components. In a ecosystem, abiotic components there, biotic components there. So abiotic component like temperature, water, air, soil, edaphic conditions, soil, all these influence the living organisms. So on the basis of soil fertility, plants will be there. For example, desert. There are cactus type of plants, xerophytic plants there. So on that basis, animals will be there. So ଯେମିତି abiotic factor, ସେମିତି biotic factors. So ecology is the study of interrelationship between organisms as well as biotic and abiotic factors of environment. Clear? So in this chapter, what we have to study? Habitat. This is niche or niche. You can pronounce in either way. It may be a gali, niche ho, kutte ho. So that is not the niche. Listen, for every organism in an ecosystem, the address is called habitat. According to famous ecologist Odom, according to Odom, every individual where it lives, that is the habitat. That means habitat is the address of the organism, and niche is the profession of that organism in that habitat. Suppose this is a pond ecosystem. In pond ecosystem, fish can live in the upper part, in the lower part. You may see small fish, they float near the water surface. Large fish always avoid the surface water. They are basically bottom dwellers. So entire pond may be a habitat, but small specific locations are called microhabitat. So pond bottom is a microhabitat. Surface water is a microhabitat. Entirely it is a habitat. So in that habitat, every organism doing some ecological role, that is the profession. Suppose phytoplankton. What is their role? Photosynthesis. So phytoplanktons prefer surface water because they have to trap sunlight. So niche is the profession of the organisms. Those are decomposers. They prefer the bottom portion. So in the same habitat, different type of organisms may live. That means habitat same, but profession may be different. Producer doing photosynthesis, consumer they will eat upon producers, decomposers. So all are living in the same habitat. Habitat same, but niche, profession different. Clear or not? So this is 1 mark, this is another 2 mark. Short notes. Now population attributes. Attributes means features, characters. So every individual has a characteristic feature. For example, every individual can take bath. So bath is a character. Every individual after completion of life, it will die. So death is a character. But these type of characters are not applicable for population. Population ro bath not possible. Population ro death not possible. Population means group of organisms living in the same area, locality. So population's attributes means features or characteristic features of a population. Characteristic feature of a population can be birth rate. So not birth. birth rate means per capita birth. Per capita means in a population, suppose 20 lotus plant there in a pond population. So lotus population, 20 lotus plant. In the next year, by means of reproduction, we got extra 8 plant. So total population become 28. So what is its birth rate? So total increase of individuals by reproduction divided by initial population. So that is called as birth rate. So birth rate is technically called natality. Birth rate is technically called natality. These are the important attributes of a population. Population can grow when individuals or members of organism increase. That is the growth, population growth. Population grow due to birth. Population growth can reduce due to death. So it is death rate, mortality, death rate, birth rate, natality. In a population, 3 types of ecological age groups are there: pre-reproductive, reproductive, post-reproductive, and their distribution also depends the growth or future of the population. Population is growing, or population is stable, or population is declining. We can draw a graph. That graph is called age pyramid. So now one by one we will discuss some of the population attributes or features of a population. All of you know population is a group of individuals. So suppose this is the population density D. So population density can increase or decrease. So population density N symbol. It will increase by 2 factors by means of natality. Natality means birth rate B. Immigration, suppose some foreigners enter. So that is immigration. Immigration means I. So population density can increase by means of these 2 factors, B plus I. And population, the organism number will reduce due to death, means mortality, symbol D, or some individuals got some work in outside, that's why they migrated to USA. That is immigration. So immigration symbol can be E. So B plus I, this is the cause of increase in population density, minus these are the negative factors. They are reducing the organisms of a population. So D plus E. If we deduct total number of increase total number of decrease of the organism, then we can get how the population is growing. Suppose population density in T times, NT, suppose it is in 2000, today is 2020, that means T plus 1, T plus 1. So formula is previous density plus D plus I minus D plus E. This is the formula. You can put this in square bracket. This is the formula how we can calculate the population density. So population density means population size of the population. So size of the population or density of the population can be determined by the number of individuals. Sometimes the number of individuals may be erroneous. For example, in a locality, one banyan tree is there, very big, huge in size. In comparison, small plants are there. So if we compare the number, banyan tree 1 in comparison 200 parthenium plant there. So population density of parthenium is more than banyan tree. So it will give us a wrong impression. Banyan tree may be 1, but it is taking large surface area due to its spreading branch. That's why another way to determine the population density N is the biomass. So this is a more appropriate way to estimate the density, that is biomass. So growth of the population can be determined by knowing the density. So population density can be measured in terms of number or biomass. So it is better to estimate the biomass to know the density of the population. This is the formula. Population after certain time period, initial population plus this. Now growth models. How population grow? Population growth depends upon many factors. Population growth depends upon environmental factors. Population growth depends upon the availability of the food material, presence of the predator. Competition is also a factor. If there is no competitor, the organism will grow. For example, in a forest area, all tigers gone for leave, सारे के सारे छुट्टी पर चले गए 1 साल के लिए, 2 साल के लिए. Then deer population का कमाल देखो, it will increase and increase. So predators are also having role to check the growth of the population. These are the barriers, these are the checks, controls of the population. So population growth model 2 type: exponential growth model, exponential growth, and another one is called as logistic growth. Logistic growth. So population growth can be either of the two. So who proposed exponential growth? This model was proposed by Darwin. Charles Robert Darwin, one famous evolutionist who proposed natural selection theory. Logistic model proposed by Verus Paul. Verus Paul. PEARL. So these two scientists proposed logistic growth model. Then in exponential growth model there is no check. No check means environmental natural resource very abundant, unlimited natural resource. Here natural resources limited. That is why check is there. So you can write instead of no check means unlimited natural resource, limited natural resource. Then another differentiating point, exponential growth or J-shaped growth curve. Here the growth curve is sigmoid or S-shaped, sigmoid or S-shaped growth curve. If we take a graph, suppose in this diagram, this is the axis with a time period t and this is the axis with population density n. When there is no check, that means resource is unlimited, the population will grow like this. This curve is a J-shaped curve. Now consider logistic growth curve. In logistic growth curve there is a check because nothing is indefinite, space is limited. That means that space has some carrying capacity. Suppose this dotted line represents that carrying capacity K. So every environment has a limitation. It cannot tolerate more organisms than that. Suppose this is a small room, maximum 50 persons can sit here. 200, 1000 they cannot sit at all. So it is the carrying capacity. Space is limited. So that is K. That means growth will continue, and when the carrying capacity achieved, there will be no growth. So how it appears? It appears like S. That's why logistic growth curve appear S-shaped, exponential growth curve appear J-shaped. So what is the formula? Formula of population during a unit period, that is the dn. D means density, n means population, per unit time dt. So dn by dt, population density per unit time, is equal to Rn. So what is this R? R means rate of natural increase, intrinsic rate of natural increase. That R can be calculated by means of this formula birth minus death. Suppose in a population birth is more, death is less. You consider population growth of Indians during or before independence. At that time, British rulers, they are torturing Indians. So death rate of Indians more, birth rate less. So at that time, R value was low. Now you consider our death is less, but birth is more. Such type of individuals making our population more dense. So B minus D, it is R. Very interesting point you have to remember. If two populations living in a community, which one is competitively superior? Competition, na? Both populations, they are competing for the same natural resource. So during competition, we will calculate birth minus death means R value. जिस पॉपुलेशन का R वैल्यू ज्यादा means उसका डेथ कम, birth ज्यादा, means that individual adopting successfully. जिसका डेथ ज्यादा means R वैल्यू लेस. R वैल्यू लेस means कंपटीशन में वो पिछड़ रहा है. So during competition, it is the relation interaction. One is dominating and another is losing. So winner loser. जिसका R वैल्यू increase वो winner, जिसका R वैल्यू कम वो loser. Clear or not? So in this J-shaped chord, there is no restriction. There is no carrying capacity. So formula is very simple, Rn. So how can we calculate this logistic growth? This logistic growth formula, population density per unit time is equal to Rn carrying capacity minus n divided by k. So this is the formula. Now we can guess which type of growth model is most natural. So logistic growth model is most natural. By this exponential growth model, even slowest breeder like elephant can increase its number. So this is a very important difference for your exam point of view. So far we discussed population growth. Population growth means population density. Population density can be depends upon various factors. Population can grow by two ways: exponential growth, logistic growth. Darwin proposed such type of growth. Verst for this can be called as verst for logistic growth curve. Verst for ने इस कर्व को दिया था. This is a graphical representation, time versus population density. Now, age distribution. In a ecosystem, three type of age groups there. Suppose this is pre-reproductive age group, PR. इन लोगों का प्यूबर्टी स्टेज अचीव हुआ नहीं है. रिप्रोडक्टिव एज ग्रुप आर. पोस्ट रिप्रोडक्टिव एज ग्रुप मीन्स old age people. So in this graph, the graph appears triangular. That means more post reproductive people means population is growing day by day. Now you see in this graph, when pre-reproductive and reproductive age group same shape, old people are less, the graph is bell shaped. So this is a stable population. Previous one, this is the age pyramid. So age pyramid is the graphical representation to represent the various ecological age groups. So this is triangular. This can be one more question. When the age pyramid is triangular, what you can conclude? Population is expanding. When it is bell shaped, what you will conclude? The population is stable. And in reverse way, when very less pre-reproductive age group, gradually more individuals. Tamane population growth is shape is like this. It is orange shape. Orange shape means the vessel where Chitta bhasma can be kept, or Chitta bhasma rakhivar patra. So when the shape is orange shape, the population is declining. घट रहा है population का growth. So three type of pyramids on the basis of three types of ecological age groups. So population attributes over. Now population interaction. In this, you have to know the definition. Every sided, you have to give example, perfect example, and significance. See, first thing, population means group of individuals. No individual can live alone. Even in an open field, one plant is standing. You may think that plant is isolated. It is doing no interaction. Yes, definitely it is interacting with the soil microorganisms. Without interaction, nobody can live. Bina communication re कथबार्ता रे केही बंची परिबेनी. So interaction is there. Suppose in this interaction, both partners are benefited. That means positive interaction. So that type of interaction is mutualism. So both interacting individuals of a population are benefiting out of that relation. दुई जन भल स्टूडेंट पार्टनरशिप कर से ताको केमिस्ट्री बुझे दोची ताको फिजिक्स बुझे दोची ताको भितर भल पाठ पढ़ा होची हला दैट इज कॉल्ड पॉजिटिव इंटरेक्शन बोथ आर बेनिफिटिंग बट व्हेन द इंटरेक्शन इज डेट्रिमेंटल इंडिया पाकिस्तान इंटरेक्शन तमाने पाकिस्तान ट्राइंग इट्स लेवल बेस्ड they are competing. Though they are not our competitor, still they are pretending that we are the competitors. We will kill you, destroy you. So both are negative impact. Negative interaction is the competition. खून खराबा हो गया, दोनों का ही खतरा था. So predation. In this relation, जो खाया lion, वो फायदे में रहा. जिसको खाया गया बेचारा डियर नेगेटिव इंटरेक्शन. सो पैरासाइटिज्म हियर आल्सो पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव इंटरेक्शन. मुंड देरे लाइस उकुणी रहिछि. सो उकुणी लाइस इज द पैरासाइट. लार्ज बॉडी इज द होस्ट. Predator prey. Predator positive interaction, prey negative interaction. Here parasite that is the negative interaction doing harm. Parasite positive. The host is the negative, receiving all the negative impacts from the parasite. Very important short notes, starting with mutualism, where both the interacting partners are benefited from each other. Examples, what are the examples of symbiotic relations? You know, in lichen, it is the partnership between algae and fungi. So pollinators and plant. So pollinator plant interaction is also beneficial. Without one, another cannot survive. So lichen, then plant pollinator interaction, then mycorrhiza, mutualistic relationship between fungus and root of higher plant. Then Mediterranean orchid employs sexual deceit mechanism. That is also one example. So this is the 2-point definition and few examples you have to write in exam. Now competition, negative interaction. Both the interacting partners are competing for the same resources, that's why both are losing. So competition can be 3 types. In between the same individual of a population, intraspecific means inside species, interspecific, lion, then deer. It is interspecific. And another type of competition is environmental, and another type is interference competition. Suppose one very big bull eating grass. Take another example from Galapagos Island. In Galapagos Island, giant tortoise were there when Darwin visited. So big tortoise, they are eating grass. And some people, they release some goats. They are also herbivore. So in presence of goat, ये tortoise सब शर्मा गए. कोई क्या खाता है? कितना खाता है? इतना जल्दी क्यों खाता है? ताको खाइबा देखि ये टेंशन ही नहीं. ताले इट इज ए इंटरफेरेंस कंपटीशन. तमाने रिसोर्स इज अनलिमिटेड. कोई कितना खा ले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. बट प्रेजेंस ऑफ वन पर्सन इट विल इंटरफियर द ईटिंग हैबिट्स ऑफ अनदर. सपोज यू आर डूइंग लंच. During lunch time, your favorite teacher came to your house. Tale your feeding speed will reduce. No, I will take it later. Tane that is a interference competition. Your teacher is not competing for your food. Still your eating speed reduce. So that is interference competition. 4 type of competition: intraspecific, interspecific, interference competition, environmental competition. Then another is Gauss competitive exclusion principle. You know Gauss theorem. This is another Gauss. So Gauss competitive exclusion principle saying two equal competitors cannot coexist. Two equal competitors cannot coexist indefinitely for a long period. गोटे क्लास रे दुईटा स्टूडेंट इंडेफिनेटली फास्ट हेबेली सेम मार्क रखिबेली. टाइम विल कम, वन विल बी विनर, वन विल बी लूजर. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज गॉस कॉम्पिटिटिव एक्सक्लूजन प्रिंसिपल. टू इक्वल कॉम्पिटिटर्स कैनॉट कोएग्जिस्ट इंडेफिनेटली and eventually competitively inferior one will have to be eliminated. एटा होची तार डेफिनेशन. आ गोटे एग्जांपल दोची समटाइम्स रिसोर्स पार्टीशनिंग. रिसोर्स पार्टीशनिंग रे competing species may coexist due to the resource partitioning. For example, in a hostel, some students they are having enmity. तम भितरे झगड़ा अछि. एवरी टाइम डाइनिंग हॉल को आसिले फोपड़ा फोपड़ी चले ताले हाउ वी कैन एवॉइड दिस कंपटीशन से रास्ता को जीवन सी जो खाया जाऊे तुम जो जीवन ताले एवॉइडेंस सेमती गोटे प्लांट रे सो मेनी स्मॉल स्मॉल रेगुलर बर्ड आर देयर किए मॉर्निंग रे फीडिंग हैबिट रखी किए लंच रे रखी किए नाइट टाइम रखी सो डिफरेंट टाइम रे फीडिंग हैबिट ले कंपटीशन हो झगड़ा हो दैट इज कौन रिसोर्स पार्टीशनिंग मु ए स्टेशन रो ए स्टेशन पॉकेट मार करी तू सही स्टेशन पॉकेट मार करी तेणु पॉकेट मार भीतर कंपटीशन नहीं मु दिन ट्रेन जाऊली से मुढ़ी मिक्सचर बिकाई भीतर कंपटीशन मु ये बोगी रे चढ़ी तू कहीं से बोगी रे चढ़ तामाने रिसोर्स पार्टीशनिंग करना भीतर डिविजन हो जाता मो सामना बगी रे मुढ़ी बिकिले तू पछ बगी रे मुढ़ी बिकिलु सो दैट इज रिसोर्स पार्टीशन तले कंपटीशन ओवर म्यूचुअलिज्म ओवर पैरासाइटिज्म यू नो पैरासाइट always enjoying the resource of a host so parasite can be ectoparasite देह बाहर रहिले endoparasite देह भीतर रहिले brood parasite काउ कोइली बसारे अंडा देला क्रो एक दे देला ताले सेटा brood parasitism another one is hyper parasite ताने parasite देरो body collection करियो हाइपर पैरासाइट फॉर एग्जांपल वन बार्ड देहरे रही टिक रो एलिमेंटरी कैनल भीतर पैरासाइट रही बड़ा हाइपर पैरासाइट सुपर पैरासाइट तो पैरासाइट रो एडाप्टेशन कौन हाउ पैरासाइट विल एडॉप्ट ना लॉस ऑफ अननेसेसरी सेंस ऑर्गन पैरासाइट रो किचन रूम नहीं से अन्य किचन रे चलियो ठीक लंच आवर रे पहुंची जीवो loss of digestive system parasite ro hooks रही sockets रही to stick to the host reproductive capacity tremendous हमारा वंश जिंदा रहे कारण वन होस्ट मरले आ गोटे होस्ट को पड़े देन प्रिडेशन कहि दिछि रिलेशनशिप इज पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव प्रेडेटर विल एंजॉय बट होस्ट विल बी किल्ड So you may think this is not good. Always lion killing the deer, it's not good. No, in ecosystem point of view, it is good. If there is no predator, if there is no predator, then prey population will be so large, then ultimately the population will crash. Lion दयारे deer माने बंची जाए नले ताको भीतर एते कंपटीशन हे पॉपुलेशन वाइप आउट हे ताले प्रेडेटर हैज सो मेनी बेनिफिट इन द इकोसिस्टम इट इज अ वे फॉर फूड चेन ट्रांसफरिंग एनर्जी देन सेकंड इट कीप द प्रे पॉपुलेशन अंडर कंट्रोल इट मेंटेन द स्पीशीज डाइवर्सिटी इन इकोसिस्टम दीज आर द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ प्रेडेशन सो हाउ द organisms prevent themselves from predation प्लांट केमती प्रिवेंट करिवो कैलोट्रोपिस सम हार्मफुल कार्डियक ग्लाइकोसाइड्स रखिछि रास्ता कड़ रे देखियो कि सब अमर कोई गछ तापरे से महादेवकर फेवराइट फूल मरख गछ ताकू कोनोसी हर्बिवोर खांती गोरु गाई खांती कारण ता देरे पॉइजनस क्षीर रे केमिकल अछि ग्लाइकोसाइड खाइला माने तार हार्ट अटैक हो तो हार्ट मसल कंट्राक्शन कर रही जो हार्ट अटैक है तो एटा कोन वन टाइप ऑफ डिफेंस तने प्लांट गोरु गाई ठारो निजको सुरक्षा देवा पई गोरु गाईटा गछ खाई देउची दैट इज ए प्रेडेशन तो प्रेडेटर ठु बचिया पई से गोटे फिजियोलॉजिकल मेकानिज्म तयारी कला बायोकेमिकल मेकानिज्म तयारी कला किछि गछरे कंटा फंटा है तने प्रेडेटर एते शीघ्र खाई परिबे ड्रग्स जोटा कि ओपियम प्लांट दीटा पत्र खाइला बेलू एमती निशाघारी हो से शोई जमी कहते घरे मूषा को एवॉइड करने दफ्तर रखिदेव आउ से 14 पुलिस आस से पूरा गणपति पाक पड़े देन हाउ एनिमल्स कैन एवॉइड प्रेडेशन ना क्रिप्टिक कलरेशन एनवायरनमेंट सांगे मिमिक्री कर दो कलर चेंज कर दो तने प्रेडेटर को चकमा देने के लिए देन अनदर इज मोनार्च बटरफ्लाई फेमस से कैटरपिलर स्टेज रे इतना जहरीला प्लांट खाया है उसका बॉडी में पॉइजन ही पॉइजन तेणु भूल कौन सी बाड़ खाइला मैंने डायरिया डिसेंट्री मरी तेणु दीज आर दी मेकानिजम्स टू एवॉइड प्रेडेशन ताले ऑर्गेनिज्म समस्त जी जा टेक्निक बाहर करछन प्रिडेशन रो रक्षा पाइबा इन कमिंग क्लास विल फिनिश दिस चैप्टर by ecological adaptation. Thank you.